Hello everybody, this is me Sam here for WoopaGaming, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use and install the RandomLocation plugin for Bucket by XGamingDudeX. Now this was a request from one of our YouTube comments by PocketKid2. Okay, so what does this plugin do? Well, as the name suggests, it teleports the user to a random location in defined areas. So what you can do with this plugin is you can define an area of land, and then you can name that area, and then players can type in the command to teleport to that area, and it will randomly spawn them or teleport them in that location. So it works similar to teleports, except rather than telling them to teleporting them to a specific place, it does it within a region, which is quite cool. And this is what I'm going to be showing you how to do it. So it does support a lot of plugins: Factions, Townie, World Border, and World Garden Vault. And maybe I'll get to show you a couple of those integrations too in this tutorial, and also I will show you the configuration for this tutorial as well at the end of this plugin video. So let's begin, and let's create a first zone. So the zone works by selecting 2 points, similar to that with World Edit with the 2-point system. So the first thing you have to do is call the zone. So let's do rlock being the main command, create, and then the zone you want to call it, let's call it Woopa. So there we go, create a zone, Woopa at this current location, and then we can create the 2 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a square around this water area. We're also going to include part of the land here. So I'll just dig down a bit, and then I'm going to use the command rlock_pos1 and then Woopa, and that will select the first position. And then if I go over here and say about here, and I'll do rlock_pos2 Woopa, and that will select the 2 positions there. So there we go, now we've created our Woopa zone, and this is where now users can teleport to when they type the command spawn and then Woopa being the name of the zone. And there we go, they teleported to a random location in Woopa. So let's try that again, and there we go, it's teleport to another location, another location, another location. So that's all random within this region. We also noticed that it teleported me first of all on top of blocks. So when it checks to teleport or spawn a player in a region, it will check all the locations where it can place a player. So it won't place a player in the air, so they won't fall down. It won't place them over water, and so it only place it on land. So in that big region we just made, it can only really do this small rectangle here where the land is. So one idea is to, when you create these regions, if you want to minimize the amount of processing power that it's going to take when checking all these random locations, try not to make the locations too large. So in this example, for instance, I could have just set the second position to say about here. If I just put that there, and that will considerably save the processing power, because now it only has a much smaller region to check, but it will still be basically the same size as the full region, because all that full region was just locations that we couldn't even teleport to anyway. Okay, so that's the main sort of gist of the plugin. Now I'm going to go into the hearty stuff. We're going to be looking at the commands first. Okay, so if we use rlock, that will show you all the list of the main commands. You can see here, rlock is the main one. You got rplayer, reload, rspawn, which we'll go over in a sec. Rlock is the one we just used. We just went over the create and position 1. You can also use X, Y, and Z, that was said, coordinates, by just doing, well, rlock_pos1 Woopa and then typing in X, Y, and Z, so 1, 2, 3 for instance, if you knew the exact coordinates, you can do that. But what is a really cool feature, it has this radius. So what this will do, if you want to really quickly set up a zone, then you can just simply type in rlock radius, the zone name, so Woopa, and then the radius number. So say, I don't know, 5. And what this will do, it will put a cuboid, or basically is a cube, around you, 5 radius. So the X will be your position plus 5, and Y will be your position plus or minus 5, and all that. And that will basically be the region around you. So when I do spawn Woopa, it teleports me to this new location within 5 blocks of where I was standing. So that's a nice easy way if you want to just quickly create a region or a zone. One of the commands to which uses world border is rlock fit world border, and then the zone name. So here it would be Woopa. And what that will do, if you have world border installed, then it will fit the entire zone into the world border that this world is on. So if you've got like a cylindrical or a cuboid world border in your world, then it will just set that to be the entire border, and then basically when your players use that command, they'll spawn randomly in the world, and that's really cool to do. Now let's have a look at rlock option. What this allows you to do now is you can just see all the available options that you can change for a zone. So you've got info, set perm, use range, set range, and let's just go over a few of these to start off with. So first one makes sense is the info, rlock option zone name, so Woopa, and then info, and that will show you all the available info on that zone. So you can see there the type, teleport, any permissions needed to teleport to that zone, the use range of the area from where the player can teleport from. So if he's within 20 of that region, he can teleport to it. If he's further away, then he won't be able to teleport to it. Okay, keep direction. That is the direction the player is facing. So you notice I'm facing this way. If I spawn Woopa, I'm still facing that way, but if I face this way, I'm still facing that way, and that's how that works. Mode ground, so if you want to, you can set this to 3 things: ground, air, and top. The ground makes the player spawn on the ground, so you notice at the start I was only spawning on ground. Air will spawn them high up in the air, and then drop the player down, and it will look for a safe location to drop them, which is always nice. And top will spawn the players on the highest block, so the highest block in that region. So that's a cool idea. Invulnerability. This is how long the player has invulnerability for. So for instance, if I set that to air, that'd be a nice idea to save them from just killing themselves. And then finally you have the world and position locations of the region or the zone. So let's just go over a few of those as we just did. So rlock set type zone name, so Woopa, and here we can set the type of the zone. So by default it's teleport, but we also have teleport, portal, or non-teleport. Normal zones, which we just created, are teleport, and that means we can just teleport into them. If they're portals, so portal here, what that means is that whenever you walk inside the zone, it will teleport you. But you obviously have to set a destination if you're going to use this one. And to do that, you do rlock set portal dest, the portal name, which is now Woopa, and the name of zone to teleport to, which we're going to have to create a new one. So let's do rlock create Woopa 2, rlock radius Woopa 2 5, and there we go. And now if we set the set portal destination of Woopa, which is the now portal type, I'm going to set it to the destination type region Woopa 2. Boom, that's done. And if I run in here, it'll teleport me to Woopa 1. Woopa 2, sorry. There you go, you can see there, this is roughly where Woopa 2 was, this is where Woopa 1 is, and then you can see there, it teleported me to that region. Okay, so that's that. Oh yeah, finally we have our, where is it? Our set type Woopa, and we can also have non-teleport. You might be thinking, why do we have non-teleport? Well, if you have a really big region, say 10,000 by 10,000 of like a city, you don't want your players to be able to teleport everywhere within that city. So you can define regions within that region and set them to be non-teleport, or NTP, I believe. And what that will do is it will stop players from teleporting into those specific regions. So that's quite a handy thing to do. What else have we got? We've got the set range, so rlock option Woopa set range 10. So let's actually just set the type back to, I have to type it in fully, to teleport. And then we've set the range to 10, and if we actually enable the range, so by doing rlock option the zone name, which is Woopa, use range, and this is true or false, so let's put this to true. Then we just look at rlock option Woopa info. You can see now the range is set to true and the range is 10. So when I'm near it and I do spawn Woopa, it'll teleport me to the zone. But let's go more than 10 blocks away. I'm not sure if this will work. My permissions may override it. Yeah, my permissions will probably override that, but it won't let the player teleport within that range. Okay. So, what else can we do? I think that's basically it. We've got a few other commands, such as rlock del, and then the name, rlock, and that will remove the zone. We also have rlock list. That will list all the teleports, portals, and non-teleports. We have our player, the player name, so Samkio, and then the zone name Woopa. And what that will do is that will, oops, what have I done there? What that will do, it will teleport that specific player to a zone. So for some reason it's switched. So our player, zone, Woopa, player name, Samkio. There we go. So you can teleport other players to other zones if you wish. Finally, the last command is reload, and that will reload the config, which I shall go over momentarily. Okay, so that's a brief overview of the commands. Okay, so the final thing I wish to show you is the random location signs. So instead of players having to type in the command all the time, you can actually create a sign that will allow them to just right click and it will take them to the region. So on the first line, simply put RL in square brackets, and then line 2 we put the name of the zone, so Woopa, and then on the final 3 and 4 lines you can put anything you like, so I like Dados. And there we go. Players can go along, right click this, and it'll teleport them to the zone without having to type the command. So this is a nice idea. If you have this at spawn, you can have all the signs of the random locations, you can have all these zones dotted around your world, and then players can just right click them and they'll get teleported to different places. And they wouldn't all teleport to the exact same place, which is nice. They'd all teleport randomly in that zone, hence the name of the plugin, hence what I've just been talking about. So yeah, I believe that is the vast majority of this plugin. There are some other little things, especially like the top blocks and defining what blocks you want, but this is a good overview, I believe, of what this plugin can do. I will go over a bit more on config. I haven't done a config tutorial in a while, so I think it's by high time that I should do one. So thanks for watching. I shall see you in the config tutorial. Bye.